folks. So, okay. This meeting of the Rapides Parish Library Board of Control is called to order. Could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a brief moment of reflection? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to begin with an approval of our agenda. The chair will entertain a motion to approve today's agenda. We have a few minor changes, but they're not anything that takes away from this agenda as printed. The chair will entertain a motion.
I so move. Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the agenda. Are you ready for the vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. At this time, the next item on the agenda is the approval of the May minutes. We've all received our May minutes in advance, so just glance quickly. After which the chair will accept a motion for approval.
I so move we accept the May minutes.
I second.
It has been moved and seconded that we accept the May minutes. Are you ready for the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. At this time, we would ask if there are any members of the public who wish to comment. Seeing no one, we're going to move on to item number 6, and we have a service award this afternoon for Miss Shirley Hawkins, who is at the King Branch. Miss Lene Mouton will take care of that acknowledgement.
Ms. Shirley, I'm going to ask you to come up here with me and take your time. And while Ms. Shirley is coming, I will let you know I am going to read some information in regard to Ms. Shirley at the King Branch that is from Lakeisha Hinton. She could not be here on today, and so I'm just going to read what she and her staff has shared in regard to Ms. Shirley for.
Miss Shirley, do you need to sit?
Can I grab
No,
her?
she can have this chair right
She
here.
said she's.
You sure?
I do, I'll sit down.
Okay, all right, you let me know.
So, Ms. Shirley, as we have said, has given 35 years to
Wow.
Martin Luther King's branch,
Fabulous.
particularly. And we say Mr. Overton said today he was trying to match your years at UPS. Everyone has known she was at UPS also. So, on behalf of Lakeisha, I'm going to read this of what Lakeisha and Miss Cynthia and those before that we've been at King that have worked with you. 35 years is no small endeavor. It deserves to be celebrated. On our behalf, your King family, the years have been a blessing. You have given your wisdom, love, and prayers time and time again. You deserve to be honored and celebrated in more ways than we could ever imagine. It was just not a shelving books, answering the phone, checking out or returning items. Every time you graced the building or every time we call, you put your heart into it so that we could take care of our patrons. Thank you for taking care of our customers, our branch, and our families. It went way beyond a job duty. Every lesson has been noted, and we appreciate the energy and effort you bestowed upon us. You are the thread to the service we provide. As we continue the mission of serving, as you know, we love you. At King, it isn't just a job, you made us family. Thank you for all, because you have been a shining example for everyone to follow. And Miss Cynthia wants to let you know, we thank you for your personal touch to always decorating and making the branch look pretty. And you always was at work when you were scheduled and never missed. So, on behalf of our Rapides Parish Library and particularly the Martin Luther King branch, we would like to present you with this award for 35 years.
What does it
And
say?
it says, Service Award presented to Shirley Harkins for 35 years of dedicated service, 2024. Would you like to say something?
Good evening, everybody. Well, with all the accolades, I feel so like undeserving because it was always my duty to go to work and do the things I needed to do. I love being there. This was and King was more than a library, but a lot of kids. And what makes my heart happy is to know the kids that was there that I helped. And I saw them go out now to do great things for themselves. And when they look at me and they say, "Oh, Miss Shirley, that's you from the library," and some of them still call me, and that was enough for me to help my community. I thank the library board committee, Miss Celeste, our director. Everybody I work with, Lakeisha, just like family. Megan and River and Cherry, Cynthia that had to be here today as part of me. Trina, I guess I remember everybody that worked because I've been there so long. But I love them all, and I love being there, and I love the system. And I think this is an excellent job. And so I'm getting older now. Even Mr. Overton, because he was when I worked at UPS, I worked 45 years there.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm not doing that.
Oh.
That's why I'm walking the way I am. But I just want to thank everybody. But it's beautiful. I can't even carry it.
Oh, I'm a carrier for you.
That's why I brought my grandson today. But I want to thank you all. And I guess just trying to deal with leaving like a home. But Keisha promised me that I could go back and volunteer. So that helps me accept the fact that I won't have to let it go. Because I love that place. I love the whole system. I love the people I work with. One person I want to recognize was Ms. Beth Vanderstein, because that's who hired me many, many years ago. So I want to thank y'all for everything, and thank you for my beautiful plaque. Mr. Thomas, who frequently visits Ms. Hobbs, and everybody. Ms. Jordan, everybody. I thank you.
May I make a closing remark since she's in my district? I'm not gonna say how long I've known for sure. I don't wanna talk about her chronological age. But I think she's still in her 30s. She's a very charismatic young lady, very personal, and I'll say religious because I see some young people come in, have different kind of problems and had their head down, etc. She go and talk to them very quietly and find out what's going on in their life. When I first saw her come in, and I know she's going to get a few little accolades, I said, she brought security with her. They must think I'm going to say something out of the way. But no, I've been doing it for quite some time. She's quite a lady. And also when she's working at, what's the name of the place she's working at?
UPS.
She's done, Thomas, what you have in that box? Some shipping some artwork. She put it on the scale, says it's too heavy, I'll take everything out so I can see it. And so she was very thorough, whatever job she did. So congratulations for you for a job well done. We're gonna miss you, but the door is always open. for a champion like yourself.
And I did this all through, God, my Savior. God bless each and every one of you all. And I think my daughter and her friend just came in. That's my daughter, Christy. Thank y'all so much.
As Ms. Hawkins makes her way back, would the family and those who came to support her please stand, because we know you've given your family time, I'm sure, a lot of times for her to be able to work at the library. Those of you who are here to support her, thank you so much. Yes, sir, the chair.
I've put years in at the library to help maybe put books on shelves and do library course, so I put in my years as well.
We recognize you too, sir. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is the financial report. Ms. Stacy Dubrock will be able to present that information.
How are y'all this evening?
Just wonderful.
Okay, so y'all were able to get those ahead of time. So I'm just gonna quickly hit the highlights. Right now, we are doing still very well for the year. We're keeping in line with our expenditures. We did receive some of our E-rate, so you'll see 3075. We got 8350 for the month. So we are able to actually reduce the actual cost of our internet that we transitioned to, which is very lovely indeed. 419 is the internet expense, and if you will notice that we are going to be over. But again, this number was based on the reductions of the E-rate. So this is the full cost without the E-rate of what we're looking at on our internet costs. And then we'll go back and subtract the E-rate to see what the actual cost in that cost is. But I want y'all to be able to see that the big number there, that would be the rate that we would be charged. If we didn't have E-rate helping, that would be the amount of expense we'd be out. So I just wanted to bring that to y'all's attention there. And if you will go back to the balance sheet, you'll notice that the CDs went up a little bit because we did have a few CDs mature, and we did reinvest that with the interest. So we have a little bit more room to, in case any of the big things happen, we have to fall back on. So I want y'all to know we did get a big chunk of interest, which increased our funds there. And that was May. So if you'll go over to the June, does anybody have any other question on the May one? Y'all had a chance to look earlier, if y'all have any questions.
I have a question real quick. On those CDs,
Yes.
was it like an automatic renewal, or did you take it out and redo it and change the rates on it?
We actually took it out and redid because of the interest rate change. We got a better interest rate by doing that. We also are in the process of separating the CDs into each section that we need it to be. Right now, a lot of it was just kind of created when they had the money, and we are currently separating them into the area of the automobile backup, the AC backup for Maine, and the automation in case anything happens with our software system. So that anybody who comes behind me will know exactly what the funds are and how much are in each one. So we are working on that, but we did take and reinvest, took them out, separated, and reinvest them with a higher rate. So even now, we're building a better interest rate. We are also in that process, along with the endowments, as they come due, the maturity comes in, we are separating them out and reinvesting them so that we'll be able to say, this is the Friends money, this was the Saints and accounts, this was, that way somebody can come behind me and know exactly where they came from, and we can present to, like, the Sansons, how much they invested in us over the years. So, we're working on those as well. And currently, the interest rates, Evangeline is still got the higher interest rates, so we're still maintaining with them. We did call around, Regions wanted to give us 0.01%. And we're like, no. No. Red River come close with 4%, but Evangeline came in with 5%. So we went ahead and maintained with them.
I have a question.
Sure.
At the last meeting, we talked about the possibility of some bank changes.
That's gonna come after.
Okay, all right,
I'll get you up on speed on that after we do this one.
okay,
Any other? According to the May one.
yes.
That's good? All right, so let's do a quick run over June. If you will look at the operating statement, the first one is the donations at 3048. We wanted you to be aware that the Scottish Society of Cenla donated some money to us for the Johnson Community Closet, so that we have the materials and whatnot to create that closet for that community. So we wanted to let y'all know that there's something in the works there. If you'll notice, the E-rate this time is 0, only because AT&T, with their kerfluffle that's going on,
Yes.
did not get me the documents until today. So, it will be in on the next month's financials. You'll get to see the amount that we got. Also, the expense on the health insurance, 4015, you'll notice is a negative at the moment. That is only because we end up paying June's bill in May, because we're supposed to be paying in advance. Well, the July one it went through on July 1st through their system. So it's gonna end up in the financial last one, and June's was back in May. So the only thing we have to show for this month is the portion of the retirees' insurance that they pay us back, since they owe us a portion of it. So you'll see almost like a double in July when we paid August early. So we're not doubling up on anything, it's just the way it fell in payment and the weekend and whatnot. And again, I talked about the E-rate not being over there on the bill, and that's gonna fall the same as the internet expense. You're gonna see the double up in July, because the fact that we didn't get our documents until today. 4165 is our miscellaneous. The negative number was a reimbursement. That's all that was. That's the only thing we received for this month, was a reimbursement of a payment that happened in May. And then 4285 is our SRP, and you'll see a negative $1,000 on it, because at that time the expenses hadn't all come in, but we did get a lot of pre-sale T-shirts and SRP bags from the patrons, and this is documenting how much they gave us back by purchasing those. So we are re-looking at the way that was done, Carla and I, and we decided we needed to be able to track that to see how much is actually going in and how much is going out and how much is left. And so you'll see that reflected each month there. All right, so was there anything else on the June report that y'all noticed?
Just one question.
Yes, ma'am.
With the problem with the air conditioner at Main, we simply repaired, we did not replace, correct?
We are currently in repair. We were able to repair it as is. It took a little bit, but it's not like a $60,000 repair, you know, instead of a full replacement. So we were able to repair and get it back in good working order.
And we hope to make it through the summer. Okay.
But again, that's why we have the CDs in place, which is why I put more in there, so that if we have to replace that full whole system, we have the money in contingency. Because that is a very big system. What we repaired was only a small portion of the repair, because it only affected like half of it. So it is a rather large system. But as we go along, there are, of course, more AC repairs happening, because we want to keep our patrons comfortable. So you'll start seeing that in the July and August billings as we make different repairs to different systems. All right? So any other questions, at least on this? Great. Now, on to the bank account information. There are two things I need to bring to your attention. One we brought to you was the fact that the Sabine is being incorporated. We are checking each week to see if there's any kind of leeway, or if we're gonna have to move. They still have no information, because credit unions can't participate with the bank accounts with public funds. So the more we get into this, I'm hoping they will learn whether we can stay or not. And if not, we are already in the process of looking at other banks as a contingency of having to move it. Until we know something for certain, we are maintaining the current procedure. So we're still there. As for the account that we requested being open for the AACH, it is now in full swing. And if you will look on the June report, on the balance sheet on the front, where we used to have a miscellaneous, I have changed that to the AACH, so you'll be able to see the tracking of that. And the miscellaneous just got put in with the regular cash, because it was only $40. So you'll be able to see that account, and Celeste will be in the process of creating the QR code to put up at the branch, so that patrons can just scan it and do donations straight into the account from there, to make it easier on everyone. So we'll be able to see all the donations come in once it gets started. I think that's it on all of the financial.
Are there any other questions? If not, the chair will entertain a motion to accept the financial report.
So moved.
Second. I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded that we accept the financial reports for May and June. Are you ready for the question? All in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. Thank you. Ms. Dubruck, this afternoon, Ms. Reach Harper is not able to be with us, but Ms. Dubruck has agreed to stand in her stead. So we're going to move on to our director's report.
And I believe in the packet that y'all received ahead of time was the director's report. So I will just touch base on each one that she mentioned. And if y'all have any questions, I'll see if I can field them. If not, we'll let her know at a later time that she can re-present at the next meeting, if that's okay with everyone. Okay. The first section there is library facilities, resources, and related updates. We did do the exterior cleanings and post-storm cleanups, and all of those have been completed at this time. We have a group of volunteers from CLECO who assisted in the creation of the Pine History Wall at Martin Branch. which I believe they are working on currently. Ms. Winton? Tomorrow. Tomorrow. So after that, y'all will be able to come visit our Martin Branch and see a whole new look to one of the walls to show some of the Pineville history.
Is it inside or outside the building?
It's gonna be inside.
Inside the
Inside.
building? Oh,
Yes,
okay,
inside.
okay,
Yes, ma'am. They're having pictures on one wall that
okay.
designates the district. All right, the HDH Garden Revitalization Partnership with the Alexandria Garden Club is progressing rather well. If y'all come by, y'all seen the nice cleanup that they've been doing. They purchased a heavy-duty garbage can to be put in the garden, so there'll be less trash, hopefully, just strewn around from people coming and going and it flying in past the gates and whatnot. We can always go in, pick it up, throw it in that can. They have placed plant identification placards on some of the new plants and some of the old ones. They are still in the process of creating new placards for some of the newer plants that they're putting in. They do want this to be a teaching garden, so that they can bring other garden club members who don't know as much, or new members, and introduce them to some of these plants that we have. And having the placards allows them to have that there for anybody coming in afterwards. There is a plan in place, which that's gonna be in the new business here in a little bit, and I'll go over that with y'all then. The gazebo that's near our parking area, we have set in motion the repairs for it. It's the, when you come in and the parking area that's literally right behind the house, it has a little gazebo right next to it with some brick columns and a nice wooden table with some tile work done on it. We went ahead and pulled the trigger to try and get that repaired. One of the columns was literally like this, in the middle of it. So we have gone through and gotten that one repaired for safety's sake, so that it doesn't fall down. And with that repair, we have found that we want to go ahead and finish the repair so that we don't have to face that issue again for years to come. So that is in place for next week to finish up the repair work. Once those columns are fixed, we will go back and repair the design in the middle of them. Since they're very old wood, we want to go ahead and replace and repair it so that, for safety, to keep people from nails and splinters and whatnot. We want to go ahead and try and maintain that historic look to it, so we are planning to finish those repairs this year. Okay. We did talk about the air conditioner, it's being fixed. They did buy a new motor for the one half, that's what it was. That has been installed, main is up and running again and back open, so we can continue on with that. We have smaller repairs on some of the other systems, which we will continue doing to keep it up to date. We have purchased a small toolkit, first aid kits, flashlights, the solar chargeable weather radio. We wanted to outfit each of the branches with emergency kits. So if lights go out, they have flashlights, they have the radio battery thing. We're gonna try to make us emergency
Prepared.
in any situation. Even if it's a hurricane happens and had patrons still in the building, we want them to be safe as well, so we're trying to make it emergency contingent for all of the branches. You know, we always accept everybody's input, so if y'all can think of anything that we haven't thought of, we'd appreciate any emails saying, hey, we think we need this. That would be much appreciated. All right. The payroll system, we are continuing the conversion from the current one into the new one. Ms. Quibido is currently on the phone with them preparing for payroll for the week. We'll see if they manage but in the meantime, we still have the contingency of the old one, so our employees will be paid this week, okay? There have been some bumps along the road, but the delays are being addressed. From my understanding, there will be some credits involved because they have been delayed longer than they anticipated. So we will continue on and move forward on that one. The banking, she wrote a little update on that, but I did present that to you regarding the fact that we're in weekly contact with Sabine about where we go forward. We wanted to remind everybody that Friends Book Sale will be coming up August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd over at Main during the open hours. This is a chance for everybody to refresh their book collection. We welcome everyone. If you want to contribute and donate books to it, you're welcome to do so. We'll take those in as well. And we invite all of the board to volunteer and participate if they so can. All right. On the flip side, she wrote about the library card system. The rollout for the new juvenile card options is going smoothly. We thank all of our employees who's participated in getting that up and running, because it's going really smooth. Those that haven't been updated, they have been turned off, and they've been, a prompt appears saying that the patrons' parents must come do their documents before they can renew under the new account. She wrote the Library Southwest Consortium is currently reviewing our reciprocal borrowing procedures, but it should have minimal effect on us. This gives us more borrowing opportunities for the patrons in the neighboring parishes. So she wanted to let y'all know that is still being looked at as well because of the new system. Depository visit. The recorder of documents from the State Library of Louisiana, Eric Cartier, paid us a visit in June to view our core collection of public documents, catalog, and accessibility of materials. We anticipate receiving his report soon on how to improve our collection. The next two things were the presentations she did. She did a presentation at the River Parishes Tourism in June, where she was a representative for the library as well as LLA. And she is discussing some new things with other libraries, with the tourism, the arts and history, and she will update y'all as those go a little more fleshed out. So I'll let her present those when the time comes. She also has agreed to lead an online training statewide on planning and executing a successful staff training day. This training that she's going to present will be October 3rd as part of the state library's fall continuing ed. She wanted to be able to present the knowledge to other libraries across the state, as well as get some ideas from the participants who come in, that maybe they have some new stuff At least you know I like her. All right, and she wanted to make note that there's a future ethics training that will be in person available for the board meeting, for board members. There are 2 now certified employee trainers. If you're interested in the in-person training, let us know so we can get you signed up for when the 2025 comes out, because we all have to do that training. And this will be another option if you don't want to do the one, you can do the other. And one last thing that's not on here that I wanted to present to y'all is this staff association is presenting our fish fry that is coming in September 21st on a Saturday. We will be at the Forest Hill Complex, and we would like all of y'all to join us in our fun celebration of all our employees. Ms. Kendra can get y'all some more details if you need it.
Definitely a reminder, Ms. Kendra.
Okay, I can send an email about that. All right, and that seems to be everything that she gave. Does anybody have any questions on any of them?
Thank you so much, Ms. Stacy, for stepping in. If there aren't any other questions, we're going to move on to item number 9, the Direct Services Report. Ms. Mouton.
Good evening once again. Just a few updates. We're closing in, and I know Carla's going to probably talk a little bit more about this, of our summer reading program at the end of July for the branches. So we're going to close and get right geared into back to school. So we have a couple of back to school batches that is happening. And before I forget, Ms. Jackie Brown wanted me to say hello for her. She's not here today, but we're preparing for our fall, what I call the fall hiring, to where we're gonna be filling some positions that we have open now. So we're looking and taking applications and interviewing, starting next week. We're looking to at least hire additional 5 people. Stacy tells me I have to look for it. But,
And I've already looked for you. I knew that was coming, so.
I'm sorry?
I knew that was coming, so yes, I've looked and you have it.
That's how I get approved, I do it in public. And that's all we have, so, and I would say, I'm looking at some numbers and material items checked out and things like that, and I was just scrolling through most of the branches. Everyone has had an increase, and it is so good to see that happening. And it's not just because of summer reading, because we see the increase in adult books, as well as our biggest hit that's happening right now is graphic novels. The kids and the adults are liking to have a little picture along with what they're reading. So the graphic novels are becoming a hit, like, you know, a couple of years ago it was DVD. So now graphic novels. So we're just rolling along. So any questions for me?
Thank you, Ms. Mouton. And she did mention concerning the next item that Ms. Brown is working on some things, but otherwise she has nothing to report. Item number 11 on the agenda is Programming and Outreach Report. Ms. Kirby, you have been busy.
We have been, it's summer.
Yes.
And she did mention the back to school bashes. The first one will be tomorrow at the main library. We have our back to school supply giveaway, and that's sponsored by Healthy Blue. So it starts at 9 in the morning, and it's just a drive-through. You drive through and pick up your box of supplies. So if you know anyone, still let them know. I mean, they donated 500 boxes. We have lots. The children do have to be present.
That's what I was going to
Yes.
ask.
And I will say these are geared mostly, anyone can get them, but they're geared mostly toward elementary and middle school. That's what it's going to be most appropriate for.
At what time again, please?
It starts at
Paul?
9.
9.
And we said 9 till, but honestly 9 until we run out of boxes. So, you know, that could happen. But thank you, Healthy Blue, for that. We have been working closely with the school board over the past several months. I got to be a part of their literacy task force this year, which was really amazing. We did some reading initiatives with them, but right now they're doing their literacy bus initiatives, and so we're going to be, our bookmobile will be at one of those on July 17th, which is Thursday, from 6 to 7. So they'll have their literacy bus, and then we'll have our bookmobile out there. So there haven't been that many out in the community opportunities for us to sign people up for cards since the new card situation came about, but our bookmobile staff will be there for this so they can. So this will be an opportunity in the community. It's at City Park for children to sign up for cards if their parent or guardian is with them. So we're excited about that. And they're also the school board right now is putting a lot of marketing funds and effort into getting kids to read this last half of summer. And so we're actually partnering with them also. We're partnering to see how many more kids get signed up with this marketing. So we're using our summer reading data to really help them accomplish it. So it's been great to work together with them on our common goal, which is to keep kids reading and learning. We did have some STEM programs. We had two Python coding camps last week. Not a Python. We did have some snake programs. No, we did. Yeah, we had a snake, but this was Python coding. Just now. So yes, computer program, and then a stop motion animation camp, and those were week-long day camps, and those were very successful. We had a great time. And summer reading. We have one entertainer left. Doug Berkey will be here next week. And this is Doug's first time in Rapides Parish. I'm excited about him. He's a mime, he juggles, he does some magic, so it's very much a variety show, but I think it looks really fun. I saw a video of him, I'm excited about it. So I think that's gonna be a good one for all ages. I know some of the shows may tend a little younger or so, but I think everyone's gonna enjoy the show. And I will say, the reading numbers, the registration, the number of people meeting goals, they're looking great for this year. They really are, so. And we still have a little ways to go, so we're excited about that. Any questions about programming or outreach? All right.
Thank you, Ms. Kirby. Our next report is from Ms. Janie Primo.
Hello, everyone.
Ms. Janie, who's fighting with the, not fighting with, but working with the payroll, the new payroll system.
Well, not me personally, but because the company is doing it all. So Jennifer Quibido, yes,
Okay.
she's involved. So a little bit about what's going on in the IT department and the ILS department. Trina, Brittany, and I went to the Tech Fest at the State Library, and it was just a fun day. We hadn't been in a while, so it was good to get away and mingle with other IT people. And most of the sessions were on security, and there was a lot on AI, which was really interesting because they had a whole different take on it. So that was kind of cool to hear all that. Another thing with ILS, Sierra, our circulation system, does have a update soon. But Trina and I will take a look at that. We always do a little webinar ahead of time just to see what the changes are, and then we'll go ahead and update. We always like to update, not right away, but as soon as we can, just to get the new features and the fixes is really the main thing there. And then just a couple of updates that we're doing. Maine now has a Nintendo Switch in their teens area, and I've ordered a TV, a large TV that'll go on the wall where the teens will be able to have a gaming session there. I'm not sure exactly if she'll do a challenge or what they're going to do, but that'll be fun for them. And some of our other branches have Nintendo Switches, but Maine did not have one, so they do now. And you know, our internet has been great, except lately we've seen a lot of ups and downs, but more downs than ups, right? So one of the things that we're going to look at is to have like a backup system. It will not be fast like what we have now with our fiber, but just, you know, something local like Dexis, maybe we'll look at that, just as a backup. And the way we can run it is that when AT&T service goes down, this will just automatically pick up. It'll be slower, but at least we'll have internet. And my main reason in wanting to do this is we've had classes that were using the internet when we've been down, and to struggle with hotspots and try to get that class finished or that workshop finished has been a challenge. So I think this will be a good thing. And the cost, Stacy looked at it, it's not too bad for us. So I think that'll be a good thing for the library to have as a backup. And that's all I have. Do you have any questions for me? All right.
Thank you, Ms. Primo. Ms. Buller.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We are so excited about the response we're having this summer with summer reading, the amount of participants we have at all the events. I'd like to think a lot of it is due to the fact that we are doing some big promotions across the board for summer reading, for the entertainers, for all of our programs. We basically have, just to explain to y'all a little bit on what we kind of do, is we have kind of a whole campaign for each individual thing, whether it's the entertainer for that week, or a painting program, or a kids program. We have social media, we have the event guide, we have a Vega posting, we have digital displays in all the branches that have them on there. We have flyers, we have bookmarks, we have posters. We have quite a large array of ways to get this out to the public. And then we also have been posting all our big events on a lot of the local community calendars. And so we're getting a huge response, and we're not spending the money on advertising that we were spending in years past and not getting the same results. So it's working, I'd like to think. And I think Albert was a fun addition this summer. I'm so proud of the branches for stepping up, and they are including Albert in all of their events. They're taking pictures. I challenged all the branches to get faces. I said, we have lots of promotions on our social media, but we need to see the people in the branches, the faces of the people enjoying our services. When people see a face of someone online, it makes them think about themselves, and they can relate to it, and therefore they say, oh, well, they're there doing this, maybe me and my family can come do that. So the branches have been great about helping do some social media. We did training. We went all around to every branch in the beginning of June and gave some individual training on the ways that they could assist from their end with social media, and if they needed help, they could still send it to us, and we would do it for them. So it's really, really been good. As summer reading is rounding down, we're starting to take some of the larger items of things we feel like don't necessarily, the public may not know as much about, and do campaigns for those, but create all these pieces and put those out throughout the year. So one Matt and I just worked on is for telehealth kiosks. You know, we've got those, but we haven't done a whole bunch with them. We're not getting real response with them. So we have created a whole campaign of all these different pieces of media that we can start putting out in the branches. We have all this new Mango language learning kit. So that's an online thing. People are paying for Babbel or Duolingo. They go and pay subscriptions. Well, they get it free with the library. So we're creating these campaign pieces and starting to build on all the different resources we have here. So, and I think it's been working pretty good from the response, the branches, and we're getting patrons. So that's what we've been doing in PR and marketing.
That's great. Is that Albert the Owl?
Albert the Owl. Owlbert.
Owlbert.
Owlbert. He has been so liked that we decided that PR is going to buy a owl costume. And so we will have our own owl at our events, hopefully by the end of the year. So that will be great. But he has been so liked, and actually so much so that I ended up getting one so that every top kids winner, the top reader at each branch, will get their very own Albert. So,
All right, thank you so much.
else for me? No?
Thank you. Item number 14 is old business. I don't believe we have any at this point. So our new business, once again, Ms. Stacy is going to step in and give us a little more information about the garden at the Huey Delman House.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so it is up for vote. We would like to name the HDH garden the Myrtle Grove. This is actually the original name, and it also honors Miss Myrtle at the same time. So we would like to rename it, present a plaque at a ceremony, probably somewhere in the spring once we finish with the garden, with the gardening club. So this will be a joint venture between us and them in getting this done. And we would like for y'all to vote on the renaming part.
Miss Myrtle is associated with the Huey Delman House,
Yes, ma'am,
and
that
is there still family in the area? Do you know?
I don't think
know.
there is.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I'd have to research into that.
Okay.
Yes, so, this will honor Miss Myrtle Huey Dillon.
Any questions, board members? If not, the chair will entertain a motion for the naming of the garden.
I so move that we rename garden to Myrtle Grove.
Second.
It has been moved and second that we name the garden at the Huey Delman House the Myrtle Grove. Are you ready for the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. All right.
The second item on the agenda is the Kent House passes. These are the passes that would be available for checkout, very similar to our zoo passes and our treehouse passes. It will be available to the patrons to check out and go visit on us and them. And so we are just asking for approval to put this in our circulating collection. It has already been approved and passed by the Kent House Board on their end.
Any questions?
What's the value of a pass? How much does it cost? Do you know that?
I do not know that.
I was just curious.
Do you know that?
I Googled it real quick. But no, I don't off the top of my head.
I don't imagine it, it's very much in comparison to the zoo and treehouse. I would think it would be an admission
ticket price.
like admission, yeah.
Any-
$12 for adults, $10 for senior citizens, $4 for children.
And I do not know how many will be available on each pass. I know the zoo is an adult and 4 children?
I believe so.
So
4.
When you check it out, is it as many times as you want to go there in a certain time period, or is it like a one-time?
It's as many times in that, I believe it's a week at this point. You get the pass for a week, you can use it every day if you so choose, but it is due back to us to circulate somewhere else.
How many would we have?
I don't know the answer to that yet.
Could we have some, well, we're not going to meet again until September, but that's okay. Could we have that information just for all of us for the next board meeting, please?
I will say, I know Kent House approached us with this. They called and said, we want to give these passes for y'all to circulate if you'll let us.
Now,
Which, just
are-
throw that out there.
Are the passes for tours of the house, or is it just to get on the grounds? Because I thought just to get on the grounds,
That
it
doesn't-
was,
You can go, yeah, you
Yeah.
can go for free. It's for the tour. Yes.
Okay.
You'll get the tour.
If they're okay with it and they passed it, I think we should.
And I would say on the average for the passes we have received from other locations, on the average, we would have 2 for each branch
okay.
to have as far as quantity. I don't know if they're doing
2
more, but
sets.
2 sets for each branch. What, 2?
2 passes or 2 sets for family, like
No,
family
2
pass.
passes. Well, it would include the family.
Any other questions? Any other discussion?
One moment. It is for tours, and Ms. Lee says it can value up to $20 depending on how many are in the family and how many times a week you go.
So if I check that out for my family, hypothetically, my whole family can go in for free every day for a whole week?
I assume that would be a yes, as long as the tours are being done.
Mhm.
Okay.
Unless it's like the zoo and it's just one adult, you might have to pay. I don't know, we'll find out.
Would it, do you know if it would be like the kids free and the adult pays, or? And you can give us that info later.
So Lisa's watching the
Yeah,
live.
she's watching the
She's-
live.
I mean, my guess is if she's saying up to $20, you would get
2 adults and 2 kids.
Well, yeah, and an adult is $12, so,
So
yeah.
probably 1 adult and 4 kids like we do with the zoo passes.
And kids under 6 are free.
I would say let's be careful and make sure that those, the rules are stated to our patrons in case they show up thinking they're getting adult free and the adult has to pay, or they have 5 people in their family but only works for 4. So just in case there's something like that.
She said the zoo pass is 2 adults and up to 4 kids, and she believes this will be similar from what they told her. So it would be 2 adults and up to 4 kids.
Are there any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion to accept the offer of the passes.
Also move.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we accept the offer of the passes. Are you ready for the question? All in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Ms. Buller, would you please also be responsible for having some additional information, as Mr. Morgan mentioned, at each of the branches that talks about all of the different types of passes that are available, maybe just a big card that's sitting on the desk? That would be,
She texted me that all rules will be outlined on checkout and will be on the pass.
excellent. Okay. I don't believe we have any other business. I'm sorry, the chair recognizes Ms. Hobbs. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry I didn't ask this question earlier, but it's in the director's report on the book sale on the Friends of the Library. Is there a date or deadline for donation of books if someone wanted to donate books for the sale?
I believe the day before.
The day before?
Yeah, they take it close to.
Okay.
All right.
We just need to have a little bit of time to be able to go through the books to make sure they're usable and to discard anything that's molded or torn up, so that I know which ones will go and which ones will stay. So I would say the day before, but I would give us some time.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have to separate them too, like adults versus children and those kinds of things. All right, I don't believe we have any other business at this time. The next meeting is scheduled for September 17th here at West Side. The chair at this time will entertain a motion for adjournment. Was it second?
Second.
Okay. I'm sorry. It has been moved and seconded that this meeting be adjourned. Are you ready for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Thank you, board members.